What's going on YouTube? 65 Rider here, coming back to you with another video. In today's video, I got a little bit of a gripe to pick with Harley. Harley Davidson, a great iconic American company, but it always does these little things that seem to disappoint the consumer. I don't know if it disappoints others, but it surely disappoints me. In the grand scheme of things, who am I, right? I'm just another guy who has two Harley Davidson motorcycles. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, or if you're a new subscriber, first of all, welcome to the channel. You would know that I just recently, about a month and a half ago, purchased a brand new 2025 Harley Davidson Pan America ST. Don't get me wrong, I love this bike. It's literally my favorite Harley Davidson. And I own a Road Glide, which is one of the top tier Harley Davidsons in the market today. However, on this bike, as much as I love it, when Harley Davidson decided to manufacture a sport-oriented touring machine or a sport touring, such as the Pan America ST, they forgot to include one thing. Now, I don't know if they forgot to include it or their engineers just decided this is not worth it, or maybe the marketing department. I don't know who made this decision at Harley Davidson. However, they didn't include a steering dampener on this freaking machine. Now, if you're at all familiar with the Harley Davidson Pan America lineup, you'll know that the Pan America Special came standard with a freaking steering dampener. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. The ST, which is the sport touring version, which is the hooligan version of this bike, doesn't come with one. And I was so surprised about that. It's like, okay, I understand y'all are trying to cut costs and whatnot, but you've already stripped so much from this bike, including the crash bars, including the electronically adjustable suspension. Give us a break, man. Just throw the freaking steering dampener in here. As you can see, there's no steering dampener in sight. However, at least what they did is they left the holes for it because they know people are going to go ahead and make that purchase to get the steering dampener. And unfortunately, that is what I did. I went ahead, I spent the 400 bucks, 425 or whatever. I'll throw exactly the price of it over here. But I went ahead and did buy the steering dampener. This is actually designed, you probably can't see it, but you got the Öhlins logo right here. It's designed by Öhlins for Harley Davidson. And again, it's a $400 product. Harley could have upped the price of the ST by $200, $250, called it a day, and nobody would have batted an eye. However, making me, the consumer, have to go out and buy an aftermarket part that should have come standard on this machine is just not cool, Harley. It's not good business. Might be good business from a monetary standpoint, but not good business to have the consumer trust your product. Now, I'm not saying that this bike runs like crap without the steering dampener. However, the steering dampener is just another piece of insurance for you as you're traveling at higher speeds, especially with the smaller wheels, the 17-inch wheels, and the lower rake of the motorcycle. If you go out there and look at most sport bikes out in the market today, I'm pretty sure like 85 to 90% of them come standard with a steering dampener. I don't understand and I don't get it why Harley decided to remove it from the ST lineup. If you guys have an idea, I am totally open to learn something new. So please write them in the comments below and let me know why Harley would have done that. I can tell you one thing for sure, the bike is definitely stable at higher speeds, but every now and then as you're going a little quicker than you're supposed to, you do get a little shimmy on the handlebar, especially once you hit, some of those triple-digit speeds and whatnot. And so I believe, I don't know, I haven't tested this theory yet, but I believe a steering dampener would prevent any of that stuff from happening. It would prevent a death wobble or something like that from happening on these motorcycles. And so just for the extra peace of mind, I went ahead and spent that extra dough to make that purchase. All right, rant over. I'm done ranting about Harley Davidson. Let's go ahead and take the steering dampener, install it on the bike, and then we'll take it out and see if I actually notice a difference or not. And just like that, we went ahead and got it installed. This is a pretty easy install, but I guess it'd be easier if you would remove this console right here. It'll allow you to kind of get to these bolts down here easier, much easier. But yeah, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, literally 6 bolts, so it wasn't that bad. One little issue for you guys to be aware of, however, I don't know if it's that big of a deal or not. I guess we'll find out. These Amazon risers kind of get in the way of the steering stabilizer or the steering damper when you do a full lock, specifically to the left. I saw on the Facebook Pan America group that also the A1 risers have a similar issue. However, you'll see here when I go full to the left all the way, it scratches a little bit. Yeah, you see, like, it's leaving a little bit of a mark right over here. So I don't know, I might have to grind this down using the Dremel or grind this down a little. I don't know yet. Again, it only happens at full lock. How often are you really at full lock? And you don't really use the steering damper when you're doing full lock turns. You only use it when you're going pretty quick, you know, is when it actually comes in handy. So I don't know, we'll figure it out in a little bit when we take it out for a test ride. That's a concern or not, because if it is, then I'm gonna have to figure out a different riser setup, which I don't want to do. I want to be done with this build. I don't know, let's get on the bike and see how it feels. All right, see you there. And we're on the bike with this beautiful sunset over here down in South Florida. As you guys know, I had to wait for the sun to start going down because it was a brutally hot day today. I think the high was like 104 or something like that, but it's beautiful right now. I mean, it's like almost 8, it's 89. Bike, bro, this bike gets me going, man. It's insane. One thing I realized, you guys, with this bike, because of the lack of, you know, real wind protection, I realized that you guys get a lot of wind noise, and I'm gonna try to find a way to get better at reducing the wind noise when I'm riding, especially at highway speeds. So I'll try to get better at that. Alright, let's find a place with no cops. Yeah. Yeah, the steering dampener, that's where it's at, baby. For real, dude. This is literally where it's at. The steering damper definitely smoothens out the ride for sure. Like initial feels, and now I'm only going 66, you know, it's not that much, but initial feels, you don't get that little bit of wobble, especially when you're rolling hard on the throttle. And I noticed it actually kind of reduced the handlebar vibration just a little bit, which is awesome. Give it a quick run here. I don't see any cops. So behind me, no cops there. Yeah, bro, I'm going, I just hit like 98, something like that, and honestly it feels like I'm going 60. No, it's definitely worth it to upgrade the steering damper for sure. I'm definitely glad I went ahead and spent that money on it, because honestly, like, definitely smoothed out the ride a little bit. Let's go ahead and do a U-turn here to show you guys how it feels with the full lock on the left turn. I tested it a little bit today. Wasn't really that big of a deal, honestly. And most of the time, like, even when you're busting a U-ey like this, you're not really utilizing a full turn. understand. I really don't understand why Harley like got rid of it. I don't understand why Harley didn't include it as a stock, as an OEM part with the bike. Because you would think, you know, you have the sport touring version of your motorcycle, you want it to be more stable on the road, right? Like, especially with the smaller wheels and whatnot. So I totally don't understand why Harley decided to remove it. It's probably a cost thing, but like I said, this would have been something that I would have paid extra for, a couple of $100 extra for, just to have on the bike for an extra peace of mind. I'm just trying not to get pulled over here because the speed is 50 on this road. Yo, listen to these bangs, okay? Hey, fucking diesel pops, man. I love them. This Toast exhaust is insane, you guys. I need to get better at shifting faster. I keep hitting the rev limiter because this bike just wants to go, but I keep hitting the damn rev limiter. And I'll talk about this more on my 1,000 mile review, but I don't trust the quick shifter, so that's why I'm actually using my hand to shift to engage the clutch. But yeah, like even on the turns, like you don't feel any sort of sway from the handlebars. It's just perfect. So my key takeaway from this quick ride video over here is just to say, if you're on the fence about the steering damper, don't be. It sucks that it's almost, you know, it's a little over 400 bucks. But honestly, for the extra peace of mind, it's totally worth it. At least it is for me, you know. Insane, bro. Insane. Like, I could be doing 100, 110 and then not even have my hands on the handlebars. So yeah, definitely well worth the investment. Again, I'm kind of pissed about Harley deciding not to include it on the bike, but whatever, you know, it is what it is. At least they offer it as an option, and at least it freaking fits on the bike. And with the little bit of touching the risers here, honestly, don't even worry about it. If anything changes with that specific issue, then I'll definitely let you guys know. Anyway, if you found any insight or if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Later.